All right, good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Panama City. Today is Saturday, August the 12th, and we are offshore. It's a little sportier than what was hoping it was going to be, but I don't think it's too terribly bad. Um, Waves are running a couple of feet, and they seem to be coming from behind me for the most part. Um, we're out here at Wet and Wild, so we're only about, I don't know, a mile and a half from St. Andrews. And we're on the hunt for triggerfish, the elusive and endangered triggerfish, gray trigger. It's not likely that we'll catch more than 100 of them today, but we'll see. So we're going to get started fishing. We just pulled up on some structure, and I got fish that are showing up on the depth finder. We're in 55 feet of water. I imagine that they're triggers because they're not on the bottom. They're about halfway down. But we're going to get started and see if we can catch some fish. What I'm going to start off with is the Quantum Accurus 30. Got 15-pound test line on it. Got a 3/4 ounce swing jig with a 3/0 Mustad Demon Perfect Circle. And if you saw what we did yesterday, that's mainly what we fished with. I'm just using little pieces of squid for bait. We don't have much current. This thing's going straight to the bottom, straight down. Little triggerfish. In Florida, they got to be 15 inches. And he's not 15 inches. I also went and caught some pilchards with the cast net. We may fish them a little bit too. I watched him come up with you. That'll be close. He's 14, so it's still not big. And I'm not sitting directly on top of the structure. The structure's all out here, kind of behind me and beside me. And I may move a little bit and see if I can get onto the structure. Still not going to be a keeper. Still not a keeper. That's better. Ah, So I try and keep my drag maybe a little bit tighter than I should. And he literally just pulled off. But just how it goes. Actually, he bit the hook in half. Now this one only has a 1/2 ounce weight on it. The same size hook, 3/0 hook. And this is a reel that I got, I don't know, a couple of months ago or so. Pat gave it to me. It's a Savage Gear SGS 10, size 4,000. I've got 20-pound braid on it because it's a 4,000. And I've been using it for a month now, or since he gave it to me anyway. And I'll give you my assessment of it. Their quality control is horrible. Their customer service is even worse. So this reel came out of the box from the factory defective. The line does not flow into the roller bearing here at all. You've got to physically put it in the roller bearing. And it has to do with this connection between this bail spring or bail wire, how it connects back to this area right here where the roller bearing goes. It gets hung up on it every single time, and so you have to physically move it. The other thing is the spring is very, very weak, so unless you physically close the spring all the way, your bail is going to be partially open. And what I did yesterday was I set the hook on a fish, and even though the line was in the roller bearing, because the spring had not pulled the bail all the way closed, it spun out, and so I had to physically close it again. Fortunately, I still caught the fish, but their quality control is terrible. And the reason I say that their customer service is terrible, the packaging that came with it, it gave me a phone number and a company name. I called the phone number. It didn't go to anything. It literally came up and said this number is no longer in service. So I sent an email to the email address that's on it. And about 5 days later, I got an email back that said, we don't sell reels in the United States, but we will send your email and concerns to the division that does. And so I sent her an email back and I said, okay, can you send me that email address or phone number so I can contact them? And I've heard nothing. They literally have not responded. Whoever she sent the email to, they've not responded. I've got off-brand reels. I've got the Cadence reels. With the Cadence reels, I sent them an email. The next day, I got an email back from them saying, I'm sorry you're having problems. It was my problem, but not theirs. But they responded the next day. Pins, same way. If I have a problem with a pin reel, I can go to any pin dealer in the United States, and as long as it's still in warranty, which I think pins have lifetime warranties, I'm not sure, but they'll take care of it. And I don't mind having to pay for repairs for things that I do. I broke the 2 guides off of one of my rods. Rod was still under warranty, didn't matter. I took it up to the guy that I bought it from, and I said, put me new guides on it and I'll pay you for it. And I did. It's not that I'm looking for something for free, but I do want you to stand behind your product when you sell it. Still not a keeper. All right, so I moved over a little bit so I could get onto the structure a little better, and I'll show you what the structure looks like. So This little bit of brown and yellow right here is the structure on the bottom. And then these are fish up in here. And there's some bait down in there. But that's what it looks like when you're sitting on top of it. When you're going across it, it's just little mounds. And this is all just concrete pipe and culverts and stuff like that. We got a bunch more of them that are over to the west side of the pass. But we haven't been down there this year. I don't think I went down there last year. But we may go when it's a nicer, calmer day. It's a further run. It's about 6 miles. Not a keeper. But we have so many of them out here that you could literally come out here and spend a day and catch nothing but triggerfish if that's what you wanted to do. Last fall, my wife and I came out here and we sat in one spot and caught 100. Literally caught 100. And I could put a high-low rig on, or a chicken rig, whatever you want to call it, where the weight's on the bottom and you got a couple of hooks up above it, and could catch them 2 at a time. More work than I want to do. A little bit bigger. He's only 14 though. Still not a keeper. Alright, so we ran out here to Midway, or no, yeah, Midway. Left Wet and Wild, came out here to Midway. This is the area that my wife and I came a couple of weeks ago and took home 2 really nice red snapper and 13 beeliners. We did catch some big triggers as well, but the triggers were out of season at the time. So I'm gonna see if we can catch some triggers out here. And what we're gonna set up on out here is one of the bridge spans. I don't know if it's from the 331 bridge or from the Hathaway or whatever. I'll show you what it looks like on the depth finder. You can see we're in 66 feet of water. That's the structure, and there's fish all around it. So there's obviously fish here, and there's structure here, and there's bait here, and everything else. And so we get the trolling motor locked down, and we'll fish. Well, there's some big old red snapper down there. But, that's not what we're looking to catch, and they are big red snapper. I don't think he's a keeper. He was just under 14. Oh, not this big. It's 14.